Guys, what's up? In this video, I'm going to show you how to actually create a project from scratch and maybe host it somewhere so you can start earning money. So first of all, what I would suggest is you figure out what problem you're trying to solve. And the best problems are the ones that you've actually faced yourselves or the ones that you're close to. Like, for example, you've seen a lot of people having a particular problem based on, let's say, the people you interact with, or let's say you yourself have a problem. So what I want to do is I want to create a project management board with a simple Kanban view and the ability to have multiple boards and share them individually with different clients. I think that's what we need. And each Kanban board can have different cards that I can enter and drag to different columns. These columns are also going to be unique per board. Most importantly, I need a live link to share globally with clients. And that's pretty much what I need. So I'm going to go ahead and actually prompt builder.io. Now, Builder is actually a different tool that I've been using or experimenting and playing around with recently. And I really like a few of its features, and I'm going to highlight that. Okay, so I think it's built now, and it actually tells me to directly deploy it to connect, and by connecting it to Netlify as well. And we can just do that. We can go ahead and deploy it, or we can see if we want to make certain changes. Now, one thing that I really like about Builder is that if I want to update this title, or if I want to move these things around, if I want to remove them or something along those lines, I don't necessarily have to, like, for example, Cursor or any other tools, ask it to remove these things from here. Rather, it actually has a design element to it. I don't have to find these elements in the code tab or anything along those lines. I can just go to design, and very similar to, let's say, when you're working on Figma, you can just go here and you can interact with this as a normal Figma design. Like, for example, I can go here, I can say, hey, I want to delete this whole thing, and it's deleted. I can press Command Z to actually bring it back. I have, for example, this particular element. I'm going to say, hey, maybe the spacing should be increased here. Or I can go to layers here and I can say, okay, maybe this one actually needs to go and be the third one, and I accidentally removed it. No problem, I can bring it back. Project management, I would say client management done easy in Kanban boards, and that's pretty much it. So again, it's really easy to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to save that. And when I save that, AI is going to automatically apply those changes that I've just done directly to the editor. Okay, so that's done. Now I want to create my first board. Let's say I work with Google. So I'm going to go ahead. I actually don't work with Google, but if I did, I can go ahead and I can create this Google board. And I don't like how this is actually placed here. I need to have it placed here. Now I can ask AI to do that as well, or I can just myself maybe go ahead, very similar to what I do in designs, just go to the design tab and just update that. So I'm going to go to the design tab. I don't like this particular element here, and I actually want it, let's say, in between these elements. So I'm just going to drag this whole thing and place it here. I'm not sure if I've placed it in the correct place. Yes, I have. And this should actually be the first item, because if I have too many boards, it can actually push the other boards and stuff along those lines. So I don't want that. Let's go ahead and reduce this padding from the top. I can also go here to reduce it. Let's go ahead and make that 0. I think this is much better now. Let's go to interact again, and we're going to say I want to save this as well. Now when I click on save, it's automatically going to really quickly update the changes, but it also does a lot more thinking, making sure that, hey, everything actually looks right. It takes screenshots and stuff along those lines. So let's wait for it to actually apply these changes. Okay, so that's done now. Now what I need to do is let's just go ahead and actually create a new chat and ask it to link it to a database so the data is live. Because obviously I don't want the data to be removed when every time a person refreshes the page or anything along those lines. So let's just go ahead and actually ask it and see what it tells us. So it's telling us that we need to connect to Supabase, and I can go ahead and actually just do that. I'm going to click on Explore Integrations, and then we're going to be taken to MCP servers, and I just want to connect to Supabase. Very simply, nothing really advanced going on. It's just going to say, hey, create an account on Supabase, obviously, and then I can go ahead and connect an account to my, let's say, Supabase account. And once I've done that, let's see what it actually does. It's going to process the authorization. It's going to say that it's complete. And I don't think it's even going to ask me to do anything here. So once we're done with that, we're going to go back to our projects and we're going to click on connect to Supabase again. And yes, it's connected now. Let's just say it's connected now. And let's see what it actually does. Now, when it's done with all of this, it's just going to let us know that it's done. And let's just see if that data is actually being preserved. So it's going to set up, we're going to go and play this and we're going to see if we can actually start getting data. So even though this is taking a bit more time, I can see that potentially this data is now upgraded. Let me just refresh my page and see if the data is updated. Now I haven't linked to it to an actual Netlify or any hosting provider. So this is just using Builder's own URL, which is why obviously it may be a bit slow to refresh, because when I refresh, it tells me this Builder environment and all of that stuff, but it's actually fetching data live. I can go ahead and I can create a new Google board and I can create it. And I can go ahead and I can add some columns in there. Let's go ahead and add column names. Let's say this is going to be to do. So it actually added a bunch of these things. It's not adding some of the columns. I can go ahead and say that I want to have by default the 3 columns to do, in progress, and complete every time. And I don't want you to go ahead and suggest me this. But let's say we say that the Google API integration is done. And we're going to update that, and we're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and refresh to see if that data is actually being preserved. Now, as you can see, Google is coming here. We actually do not have, so for some reason, I think it actually was not fetching the actual columns previously. So it actually fetched these, and that's something that we can fix as well. But we can see that some of that data is actually upgraded. Let's just go ahead and create a new board. And let's see if we actually get the columns. So new board is here, and we're going to wait for the columns here slightly. I'm going to refresh, and let's go to our new board, and I can see, okay, the columns are here, but when I jump to a new board, the columns don't automatically appear. So we're going to go ahead and let him know that, or let the AI know that when I go to a new board, the columns don't automatically appear until I refresh. So this is important. And let's see if it can actually fix that as well. Now it's at the very least saying that it's done that. So let's just go ahead and refresh. And we're going to go ahead and create a new board. This is going to be, let's say, Apple. And in the Apple board, we're just going to open it and the columns are already there. I can, let's say, add a card, designing iPhone 24. And we're going to go ahead and refresh to see if all of that data is actually being preserved. And it is. So that data is preserved. Here, we're going to copy this particular link. We're going to paste it here. And that does seem like it's working. So yeah, that's how you can pretty much create a really nice, quick product in a matter of minutes. And then publish it anywhere, publish it on an actual domain so people can start using it, people can start having fun with it, or just use it for your own self. I mean, what's the big deal? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do subscribe, do hit the bell icon, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.